everyone, welcome back to this data science series. In this lecture, we are going to cover neural networks. So let's get started. From neural networks, what comes to a brain? Brain, right? So our human brain have neurons, and this is all. It is the smallest, a fundamental unit of our nervous system. These neurons convert or when have a network between them is called a neural network. But we are here in learning data science now, right? Not biology. Yeah, we are learning data science. But in data science, we are mimicking the neural system or neural network of human central nervous system. Really? Yes. How is it like happening? Let's have a look on this. See, these are dendrites, cell body, axon, which are the parts of a neuron. And here we have x1, x2, xn, with particular variables like in dendrites. And we have this summation function where cell body and axon receives the patterns like dendrites receives the information, x1, x2, xn receives the information. Then we have axon which have that some functions going on in there, and then it gives on in this part where y is written. In the right hand side we have some more parts of neurons which transmits those messages or generates the signals. Similarly, here we have x1, x2, xn. In dendrites we receive the information from x1, x2, xn. We receive the information, then we have a function, a summation, and then that information is then released using this y variable. This is comparison of real neutron and artificial neuron model. Okay, so this is how exactly the artificial neural network looks like. It has an input layer. Last we have learned it x1, x2 up to xn. Okay, so this was input layer. Node 1, node 2, node 3. These inputs the information, and this is then transmitted to hidden layer. Here we have one hidden layer. It can be two. It can be more, but generally we can have one or two hidden layers. Then we are having this w1a, w1b, and so on functions like connecting to this hidden layer, which have node a and node b. And then some computation work, some summation work will go on here. And according to this, the decision, the information will be then sent to node z, which is an output layer. And in previous image we saw it is y, which transmits the message. So here node Z works that way. It transmits the message. Look at the arrow in this. Okay. So how do neural networks work? This was what we knew about the structure, but how exactly they work? First, the information is fed into the network through the input layer, which we saw, like this input layer, node 1, node 2, node 3. And then each neuron has hidden layers. Here, the hidden layer is node A and node B. And then the process is going on. The information is being processed and then it is passed to the next layer. Here, we don't have another hidden layer. Otherwise, it would have been sent to next hidden layer. But here we have only one hidden layer, so the information is then sent to output layer directly. Then in the final layer, which here is only one hidden layer, so we have directly the final layer, the output layer. It provides the prediction or result based on the data analysis performed by the network. Then what are the advantages of neural networks? Adaptability and complexity. Neural networks can adapt new data and improve their performance over time. As in human brains, we can quickly adopt the things. We have neurons. And then complexity, it can solve complex things. Again, we are not comparing data science with human brain. It is just imitating the neural network, but it can also solve various complex problems. What are the applications of neural networks? It can help in image recognition, natural language processing, predictive modeling, all those tasks that requires much of complexity that are much complex and that requires much skills or much uh, power to solve these problems. Like image recognition by AI or ML is a tedious task and it can be done using neural network. Now let's have a look of a code, Python code of neural networks. Here we have neural networks. Neural networks are machine learning algorithms inspired by the structure and functioning of the human brain. And this is the code where we have imported these from the packages, and then we have created the data set, then we have pre-processed the data, then we have defined the neural network like dense. It is input layer first, then we have a second layer, and then we have this third layer, output layer. Here we have only one, where here we have two, like input layer and first hidden layer are there, and second hidden. Here we have two hidden layers, and then we'll compile the model. Here dense functions, sequential functions are used. Then we'll compile, then we'll train the model and evaluate the model. So this is the output which we get when we run our code. Okay, requires our neurons to understand this. Now let's move on to another um, slide, which is step by step guide to build a neural network. First, we can start by defining the problem or collecting the data. Then we can pre-process the data. Then we will define the architecture of neural networks by specifying the number of layers and the neurons in each layers. Like if you want one hidden layer or two hidden layer, how many nodes do you want in each layer? Then we can train a neural network on training data set. Then after training that, we have to evaluate the trained model, then we'll deploy our trained model. This is it for this lecture. In the next lecture, we'll cover about clustering. Thank you for watching this lecture.